Hello there and welcome back. Today we talk about the Dreadbox Nymphes, which is pronounced in the Greek way, not nymphs, nymphes. It's the first Dreadbox unit that I ever had. I'm guilty of not digging into their product before. I was actually really into the Medusa. That was a collaboration, I think, with Dreadbox and Polyand that came out quite a while ago. But when I saw this little fellow here, I kinda immediately fell in love. So what is this? In the manual, they say that their own interpretation of the Poly6, which was one of the first commercial, affordable Poly Synth. Their idea was to recreate something using that same concept, so something that has an analog vintage vibe, but of course had a lot of new modern feature to it. Modulation matrix, midi, USB control, blah, 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 many things. So the interesting part is this is a very affordable tool. It's all analog, and it has 6 voices, and it looks pretty cool. So I think it's a very, very great tool. When I first see it, I noticed that a lot of people thought this could be a competitor for a Juno. And I have to say, being acquainted with the Juno, I own one. I have, not mine, but I have one at the other studio. I had many Juno. I have the boutique. The way you dial control in with the slider is very similar to that. So somehow it can fall into that family too. It can do this similar sound. What really blew my mind is the fact that everything here is MIDI CC controllable. In fact, what you were listening before was all control sequenced by the Oxy. And also it has 2 LFO, which can modulate any parameter in the synth. And then you can assign the mod wheel, the velocity, and the aftertouch to any parameter. So this becomes a pretty powerful machine for modulation, if you want to go that deep. Okay, before going on, as usual, few ways you can help me keep doing what I'm doing. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Buy from the affiliate link down below. Whatever you're gonna buy, I will get a tiny percentage and it will be really useful. Just click on the link first. Third things, become a Patreon. On Patreon you will find tons of exclusive content. I will reply to all of your questions, do one-on-one lesson, and so on and on and on. All right, now let's go into this beautiful little setup. If you know me, you know I love creating small setup. So what's happening? I have the Oxy, my trusty Oxy, sequencing the Nymphes. Go check also the video that I did last week about the new feature on firmware 4 from the Oxy one, which make this sequencer the best ever. Nymphes is mono, and it goes out into the mood mono. The mood stay mono this time because I didn't want to deal with the splitting cable. Go inside the Ghosts, which had some delay, some touch of reverb, filter, distortion and whatnot, and then rooms at the end of the chain, then straight into my DAW. Let's listen to what's happening. First, I will turn off all the effects. So, if you are interested in what's happening in the Oxy, check, I did another video, but I have 2 sequences going on, one in track 1, one in track 2, and track 3 is a chord track, and these other 2 guys are harmonize to the chord. So whenever I change a chord, even if you don't hear the chord, this arpeggios, the notes, whatever, they will conform to the chord I'm playing. Amazing, amazing, amazing thing that the Oxy does. If you hear more though, the sound is kind of changing because there's the noise and there's the velocity that's changing and some filter EG. How am I doing that? I'm doing that midi, CCing all those things. So for example, with Oxy, I have the mod lane here, and I have 4 mod lane per track. And this track is controlling the noise. So as you can hear, I can control the noise of the Nymphes. And I decided to make these 7 steps, so it's always change. And I can, with Oxy, I can actually, when I select the synth here, pressing Shift 3 times, I'll have the instrument, and there's Nymphes already mapped. This is the new feature of firmware 4. Okay, but enough about the Oxy. So, the little song was this. I sample something here. Then I go into the Ghost. And then some rooms. It's a beautiful sound. The noise that is sequenced like that helped me create a sort of rhythm, even though it's one single mono out. So as you can already imagine, these can be a super powerful tool to also do a full live set with just few instruments. Now, let's go into how this little guy works. First, it has many ways to play it. And it's mode, so it could be polyphonic, 6 voice, or different kind of unison, 3-phonic, duophonic, whatever you want. And it also has a chord function, which I won't cover because I use the chord on my Oxy. So I don't want to do a super in-depth review. These things come out years ago or so. So I'm late to the party. I'm just talking about what I like about it and how easy it is to make good sound. So you have 7 bank, and each bank has 7 presets, so 49 presets into the user and factory, so double that, multiply by yourself. And what you can do is you can save, load everything, and the only things that the Nymphes requires you to do is to learn his menu diving. It's take a little time to get into it, but once you understand it, it's easy. And now why they had to do that? These things come for very cheap for what it offers. Of course, adding I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure that adding a screen or made it more button, more control would have made it more expensive. So I enjoy the fact that to make it portable, cheap, and good sounding, you had to sacrifice on something. So the menu works pretty simply. You press this button. Now you have 7 items in the menu. And with this wheel, you can move around it. And then some of these as a second menu, so you have to press menu again. For example, let's say I want to change the play mode. I go to menu item 1, mode, then I press again, and now I can select one of these 7. So for example, let's turn off the nose. This is poly mode. I can decide to go unison, duophonic, and so on and on. Now we want polyphonic. So we stay in polyphonic. Once you do your selection, you just press the menu and you get out of it. What to do to change your MIDI channel, for example, you press menu, you go 7, MIDI channel, press, and now you choose MIDI channel 1 through 7. I use 1. And now everything's set up. Now let's go to the juicy part of it. Let's turn everything off and let's do some sound from scratch. We can use this. Also, let's load. If you want to load, you just press the load button, move this. And then I know that pressing shift, I can go in bank, so it's the pink colored when it's shift on. So bank G, and now I think this is the init thing. So let's load that. Now you have a set of 14 encoder, if I'm not wrong, that double when you press shift. So when shift is not on, what the encoder do, the encoder slider do is this lower thing. So for example, this one controls the wave, the level of the oscillator, the sub-oscillator, noise, LFO on the oscillator. Then you have the filter, cut, resonance, and envelope following this envelope here. So in this first mode, this envelope is not your amp ADSR, but is your filter ADSR. I wish it was the opposite, honestly, because I use more the other thing. So I wish in a future firmware they give us the chance to decide which one is which. All right, and then you have your LFO here. LFO has rate and wave. Let's add some. That's it. So this set your first things. Let's actually play some nice chords so we can listen. Let's reload the blank state again. I forgot to turn off that. Genius, Federico. And let's go back. I forgot to say. Let's go now on shift, and you will have the other set. So on top you have a pull switch, the glide, the detune, chord which we won't use now, and the envelope for the oscillator. Filter, you have an high pass filter, similar to what you had in the Juno, the track, and the LFO for the filter. And now you have your envelope for the amp. And then you have a delay and fade for the LFO. So if you set a delay, the LFO will start a little later. Here it is. And then you can fade in and out. As you already hear, it's pretty massive, the sound that this guy can do. The tuning happened because I have the EEG follow the LFO. Now, what if you want to go even more further in the sound design? Because like this, you can already create interesting sound, but you have LFO2. How you work with that? You press menu, you go in 2, and now you can set the LFO. Whatever you touch of this control even if you are in a shift part, it will be modified by the LFO2, which has the same control here. So let's say, for example, we want the noise. So let's bring the noise up. And now let's make random. As you can hear, now the noise is modulated by the LFO2. Is this the end? You press out to get out. No, now you can also add reverb. So let's turn everything off. Let's listen to the reverb, because Dreadbox do also cool pedals and effects, which I want to try soon. So to get into the reverb, again, menu, you go in 3, reverb, and now these control the reverb. Sides, first the mix, let's mix it in. And here it is. Done. Now, say you want to save this, which is actually pretty cool. What you do, you press Shift and then Save. Now you decide the bank where you want to save. Let's say I want to save in bank 2, and then which number. And then you save your thing. I don't want to save because I don't know. I don't want to overwrite other things. So let's pick some of the sound I made. Beautiful. If you start adding pedals to that, it sounds super beautiful. Rooms always distort like crazy, so we need to get into it a little lower. This is beautiful. Wow. What I really love about the Dreadbox Nymphes is that once you get the menu and the shift and moving through the 2 parts, it's really easy to build patches. Plus, for example, now, let's say I want to create, let's do another track, all right? So I load empty pattern. So let's save on the Oxy the chords that we like. This 4 chord, nice progression, which I would never be able to do by myself. So let's turn this off and let's place them in the sequencer. Pick and place, you just press the chord and go in the sequencer, and automatically Oxy will place it for you. Lovely. Now let's make this quarter. Beautiful. Now, what if we want to control everything here? Let's go in the mod lane. Let's add noise to that. So I would go in the setup here. I will pick the instrument that I want, which is, of course, there's many Nymphes. Here it is. Now I go in the mod lane, and there's already the noise set. So if I activate the mod lane, now you hear the noise. So let's create something like that. Let's make it at a different division. For example, I made an error. To make the mod division, so you press Shift and then click this one, and now here you can decide the division. So division, let's go faster. And the end of it, I want it a step 15. So now there's already something moving without me having to do with that. Now let's bring in the sub. So we go in mod, let's save this. Let's pick CC2. Destination, we look here, there should be sub level, here it is. And now, here it is. So we can bring it in. What else? What we can do to make we can bring the LFO in and out. So let's go in again, mod. Let's pick the mod wheel, but we will change it. Let's pick low pass, let's find. Actually, let's try it with the amp level and see what happens. Let's make this fast. I have an idea. I want to create something rhythmical. So we go. Oh, division. Here it is. Nice. So, as you see, in a few minutes, you already create something that is cool and evolving, all using the Nymphes, just one out. Pretty lovable. So let's now create a different sound, something cool for a sequence. So let's load something that sounds as a good start. This one. And let's create something. So I want it plucky, so envelope. Let's remove the glide, and then maybe we can add it with some automation. Now I'm working the envelope for the filter. Some LFO. Let's add some release and some delay in the LFO, and then let's bring it in. Let's add some LFO in the filter. We can cut a little the high pass filter, add some tracking. Nice, this has a nice attack. Nice. And now here I can start adding some modulation. Let's see what I like. The cutoff. Let's find it. Here it is. And now let's make this lengths. Also, we can play with the velocity, double click velocity. Now my trick, I want to harmonize this one. Let's put it a penta minor. Let's not listen to this. So, there you have it, the Nymphes. It's a small wonder box. It's really packed a lot of power. Once you understand the way you can modulate the sound, of course, it's easier with all the CC, but you can do a lot with the internal LFO. This could be a very great Swiss Army knife for your recording, but also live performance, because you can bring it with you. It's super small, it sounds great, it's USB powered, so you can easily use a power bank, whatever. At this point, I'm actually using the pedal board chock power adapter, so everything here now it's powered by this single tool down here. This is a pedal train things. It's cool, you can bring it out everywhere. And if you like the kind of retro sound but want to have a little more flexibility in your sound design, I think this is a great deal. Again, I own a Juno, which is amazing. I have a Juno 660. Again, not mine, but I have it at studio, and it's just gorgeous. And that is my part, what I have on this vintage synth side. I have here the mighty Super 6, which of course allows you a lot of more complex design. But I have to say the easiness of use and the beauty of sound that you can get very fast out of these things, it blows my mind. So yeah, I recommend that if you need a cheap, beautifully sounding tool to make your track. All right, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check also the video of the Oxy for the new feature on firmware 4. If you can support, do it, or just hit the like button. That would be enough. I'll see you next week. Ciao.